Good evening. Welcome to the City Commission special meeting regarding appointments to the Urban Renewal Commission and the Historic Review Board. So we will convene, and may I have the roll call, please?
Commissioner Rocky Smith.
Here.
Commissioner Adam Marl.
Here.
Commissioner Mike Mitchell.
Here.
Commissioner Frank O'Donnell.
Here.
And Mayor Denise McGriff.
Present. All right, so we have, let's see, why don't we take let's just go ahead and do urban renewal first, if that's okay, since people are here.
Yeah, we only have one left to read.
Yes, we only have one. So we have one interview to conduct, and that's with David. And if you'd be so kind as to come on up. Do you have the questions on the... Yeah, just come on up, please. And if for some reason you can't hear me, let me know and I will just talk louder.
Okay.
So thank you so much for making the time. We appreciate the fact that you let us know. And so we felt it was important for you to have the opportunity to interview, so that's why we held it over. So
Great, thank you.
Thank you so much. So do you guys remember the order we had last time?
I don't. I'm looking at the old list so I can go from that.
Okay.
Looks like I'm up first.
Yes.
HRB. Oh. Well, I think it's... You didn't have an order on that.
Yeah, Mike, why don't you take the first one since you're the chair?
Okay. Question number one, why would you like to serve on the Urban Renewal Commission?
Oh, first, just introduce yourself for the record.
Okay, so my name is David Bone, and I live here in Oregon City. I own the Hillside Chapel Funeral Home in Oregon City. I lived here for 15 years, raised my kids here. They're getting ready to graduate from Oregon City High School. And so we really have an investment in Oregon City. So from 30,000 foot level, I have decided that it's time for me to start getting more involved in my local government and how things, happen in the city. And so I actually applied to a couple of different committees and have actually recently been appointed to the PRAC committee, which I'm pretty excited about. And urban renewal was a big one for me too, because I've lived here long enough to see some of the projects that have lived and died with different properties in the city, and as a citizen, not really understanding all the nuances of why something like that would happen. And so for me, it's an opportunity to learn more about how our city government works and how those decisions are made, and perhaps even being influential in a decision like that. So.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening. What do you see as the role of urban renewal in Oregon City?
Well, I think the biggest role of urban renewal is going to, it's to ensure that as we move forward in time, that the city is staying current and relative to the people who live here. So that there are things that make Oregon City a nice place to live in. There's, activities for your family, there's shopping, there's services, all those sorts of things. And I think urban renewal is obviously a big factor in deciding, what types of things are planned and put together in the city.
So I'll ask just a quick follow-up since you mentioned it. So you've seen some projects come and go. So are there any projects that you thought that we did as a city, not me personally, but we as a city did a good job on?
Projects that we did a good job on. I feel like some of the newer parks are really nice. As far as, I think about things like the dump where the Home Depot is, and all the different things that have come and gone of projects that could potentially be there. And like I said a second ago, not really understanding why, it would say like here, this is, we're going to get a Cabela's, or it's going to be a water park, or whatever the case may be, and how the process gets to that point. So I think downtown is amazing. And, having lived in lots of different places during my life, it's really nice to see that it's a really cool downtown. And, we enjoy you know, going down there and going to restaurants and going to the festivals and things like that happen. So I think that's a big plus. And I don't know everything that Urban Renewal is involved in or what, you know, that project has done. So, but I think that's one that I can say that I definitely recognize.
I think you just had moved here when we were finishing up the 7th Street Corridor project. And although that wasn't a revenue generating project, that was urban, you live on, your business is on 7th Street.
Correct, yeah.
So, you know, now we have turnouts for people to park, whereas before it was, you recall, it was 2 lanes in each direction.
I actually, it was like it is now when I moved here, so I'm spoiled, right?
That's 17 years ago.
Yeah.
So if you've been here 15, so it probably was just getting done
Yeah.
when you moved here, so. Frank, would you like the next question, please?
Certainly. So, Mr. Bone, knowing you may be faced with competing projects for urban renewal dollars, what factors would you consider in choosing among competing projects?
That's a good question. All things being equal, I guess I would have to see what viability, long-term viability, is the city investing in? Are we being good stewards of the, you know, the responsibility for the money that we're going to be using for urban renewal projects? How does it make the lives of citizens of Oregon City better? How does it enhance our city? Does it bring in tax revenue? Does it bring in jobs? Those sorts of things I think would be probably factors. Again, not knowing really how all of it kind of fits together at this point. I'm sure there would be other factors that I would probably take into consideration that I just can't think of right now.
Well, I will say you've touched on many considerations. Thank you.
Rocky?
All right, do you have any additional comments, or is there anything that you would like to ask us?
I really appreciate this opportunity. I'm really excited about my tenure now that's starting with PRAC, and I feel like that's going to be a good place for me to learn a lot about how the city government works and how all the departments and everything come together for to achieve a goal and a mission for the city. And then as time goes on, hopefully I will be more involved in other committees and commission type things in the future.
Anybody else have any other questions?
No.
All right, thank you so much. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, so we have reviewed and interviewed all 3 of the candidates. And is anybody at this point in time ready to make a motion, or do we have any other comments?
Well, I think a motion should be preceded by comment and the why.
Sure, sounds good.
So in my mind, the candidate that stands head and shoulders above the rest is, and I hope I pronounced the name correctly, is it Lori Renewal? And I say that if you look at the resume submitted by her, I mean, the answers to the questions and relevant work experience, ground up development, property management, real estate, Bachelor of Science in Planning and Public Policy and Management, volunteered, and I do remember her on the Budget Committee on Urban Renewal, and I saw her mind work, and that's what I look for, is how does your mind work? How analytical are you? And I was impressed at that time. I look at the 3 submittals, and based on that, if you're looking for a motion, I would make the motion to appoint her.
Since you wanted to have comments, let's get everybody's comments.
Sure, okay.
You want to go next? Or Mike, would you like to go?
I'll go next. Yeah, I agree with what Commissioner O'Donnell said. I will also, since Mr. Bone's still in the audience, I'm pleased that he chose to apply, and I think he could be going forward a strong asset to our city and on several different spots because of his involvement in the business community. So I think he was a strong candidate, and I appreciate him doing this. But particularly in light of Ms. Arnaldo's experience on the Budget Committee, you know, she's already been pretty deep under the hood of urban renewal, and I think that's experience we can use, so I would support her as well.
Well, guess I'm going to be a little contrarian, and I'm interested in spreading the wealth, and I appreciate the candidate's involvement, but she's already on too many things, in my opinion, and I would like to see other people have an opportunity. I'm particularly pleased with the fact that while the knowledge isn't deep, he is a business owner, and I think that is something that we have not had on this commission for a while, and I think that that's an important factor. Plus, he's got a property within one of our urban renewal, well, our only urban renewal boundary, and I think, again, that gives him a different perspective. And I would like to see Lori stay on the budget committee, but she's on many. I looked over all the things, and I said, well, that's a lot of stuff. And I would like to see us broaden our horizons a little more and bring more people in. This is a full term, and I think that we need to not have multiple people on multiple groups. So I would like to support Mr. Bone. Either one of you can go next.
What other committees is she on?
She's on Metro Enhancement, she's on the Budget Committee, she's on Urban Renewal Budget, and I believe there might be one
Okay,
more,
well,
but
she
that's a
would be-
lot. That's a lot.
She would open a seat on urban renewal budget because she'd already be on urban renewal, so that eliminates one.
So
Metro
anyway,
enhancement is
like I
not really
said,
a factor.
I thought we had two viable candidates in my opinion, and I just would like to see us bring in more people. Oh, please.
Go ahead, Al.
So I'm still, like, to this moment trying to figure out, because for me, I'm trying to decide between Dave and Lori. I agree with the assumptions and the remarks that have already been made about both of them. I agree that Lori brings the experience of having been on our budget committee, but I also believe that we don't have enough business owners having a seat at the table when it comes to local government, and that's something that I hold very near and dear to my heart, is making sure that we're supporting small businesses here in Oregon City, and I think having that voice would be a huge asset as well. And so I don't think we're going to go wrong with either of these, and at this point, I would be willing to support either.
Well, that having been said by all, I'm going to move to appoint Lori Arenello to this position.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Let's have roll call.
Commissioner Rocky Smith,
Aye.
Let's see, we can skip you.
Commissioner Adam Marl,
Aye.
Commissioner Mike Mitchell,
Aye.
Commissioner Frank O'Donnell,
Aye.
and Mayor Denise McGriff.
No.
Motion passes.
All right, let's move on to our deliberation about the Historic Review Board appointments. We have received a recommendation from the Chamber to appoint, they would like us to appoint Gordon Lawrence, who we did interview. And I think that we should go with that. They've obviously vetted the candidate, and he is an active member of the Chamber. The other thing I would like to suggest is that in reviewing all the applicants, we have definitely one applicant who has been on the Historic Review Board, and I kind of feel like he's put in the time, and I would like to see us reappoint him to that seat.
Of whom do you speak?
Mr. Edgar.
Okay. Well, it's a difficult choice for me because of the qualifications of the candidates, which is an interesting position to be in, considering it's not normally not. I do feel strongly about Mr. Edgar's commitment over the years and his defense of the historic buildings. We got to realize we're filling two positions tonight, one of which is we feel the qualifications have to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce, which two applicants after our last meeting went, subsequently applied, so they don't have a long-term
Well, one of them
association.
was already a member. I believe Mr. Lawrence said he already was a member of the chamber.
I don't think he was.
Because I asked that question. I said, is he already a member of the chamber? He's done something with them because when I asked
Well,
the former
regardless.
director, she knew of him. So anyway, so do we have a motion?
I'm still struggling with it because, I know what the feedback was on all the candidates, and the chamber has been marginally involved in this for a long period of time, so I know you want to honor their submittal,
Oh, Mr.
so I'm going to let
Stobe-
somebody else make the motion, and I may,
Well, let me just say, Mr. Stobie, who'd been a member for was a member of the HRB for 2 terms, very active in the chamber and was very much involved. So
I understand
I
that.
don't think they were out to lunch on that. And I think, unfortunately, during the transition between the old director and the new director, this just slipped between the cracks. But they rose to the occasion and got the work done.
go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I would be inclined to accept the chamber's nomination of Mr. Lawrence. I appreciated having a conversation with Jonathan from the chamber, just for him to give me some of the reasons why that's who the board decided to nominate. And so all I'm grateful for is the fact that among these talented candidates that we had to choose from, a couple of them actually were willing to join an organization just to become a member of this board. And so I'm glad that we still get to choose among this pool of candidates and they didn't have to go out and choose someone new because I wanted it to stay that way. And given that they have and that I believe any of these applicants would do fine in this role, I would be inclined to accept that nomination for Mr. Lawrence. For the other position, this kind of gets back to what I was talking about for the last position, is trying to make sure that we have a variety of opinions and viewpoints being represented. And for me, having someone who lives outside of those neighborhoods that are always going to have that representation is a voice that I think would benefit the Historic Review Board.
I believe how we're going to have to approach this is individual
Yeah, I think we need to do that.
Okay, so let's have a motion to,
for the chamber.
for the chamber.
I'll move to appoint Mr. Lawrence to the chamber representative position.
Second.
Commissioner Rocky Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Adam Marl,
Aye.
Commissioner Mike Mitchell,
Aye.
Commissioner Frank O'Donnell,
Aye.
and Mayor Denise McGriff.
Aye.
Motion passes.
We still have, an at-large position to
Yeah,
consider?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and
Commissioner Marl has voiced his opinion on
Yeah,
that.
and I appreciated the fact that, is it Jennifer? Jennifer on the brain today. Jeanette. And I did say, yes, she lives outside the city, but in further inquiry,
Outside the neighborhoods.
outside the traditional neighborhoods, but she does not, it's part of it is because this is a quasi-judicial land use board. It's not totally on-the-job training. They have some interesting applications that are coming up, and I think that the group that they have right now works very well together. I've observed their meetings both online and coming in person just to see how things are going. And so I think I would like to stick with somebody who's got some experience and help move this thing along. But I did want to encourage, Jeanette, because there will be another vacancy coming up, so to stay involved.
Well, in the same way that I'm troubled that we have to pass on what Mr. Bone could have brought to the Urban Renewal Commission, I'm also disappointed isn't the right word. I can't think of the right word right now, but I think it's too bad that we can't take advantage of Mr. Tidmore's background. But I do think we also have to respect the work that Mr. Edgar has done, respect the knowledge that he brings. And so I would be supportive of Mr. Edgar for the at-large position.
So would you make a motion?
Are we ready? Somebody else want to speak first?
No, I'm ready.
Okay,
We're ready.
I will move to appoint Paul Edgar to the at-large position.
Second.
Okay, on the motion?
Commissioner Rocky Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Adam Marl,
Aye.
Commissioner Mike Mitchell,
Aye.
Commissioner Frank O'Donnell,
Aye.
and Mayor Denise McGriff.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay,
It's,
we are,
it's nice to have good choices.
yes, it is.
It is
And we
very
haven't,
nice.
we have not always had good
It's hard.
choices in the past.
And to have a bench for the future as well.
Yes,
Yeah,
and get
that's
these
right.
people teed up to, continue, so. All right, we have nothing else, I presume? All right, we're adjourned.